But what is the Allan effect on the Ashanti region vote? Isaac Kofi is with our research desk, and he has the details on that to share with us here in studio. So this whole thing happening, how is it going to affect the vote from the Ashanti region?
Well, so this is not the first time we're actually doing this analysis. We've done it over and over again. And some even say that it's too early to point out something like that as an Allan effect. But so long as you see people queuing up for new voters, ID, it tells you that the country is ready for 2024. So it's right time for us to do the analysis. So the Allan Tremantin effect is basically what happens to Allan Tremantin in the primaries and its effects in the main election, holding all other factors constant. And so per the data that we have, we've been studying the data and we realize that anytime Allan Tremantin, is voted against in probably the primaries, the presidential primaries of the NPP, it goes ahead to affect the NPP in the main election in terms of, the Ashanti region's vote. So right from 2007, when it first came to the scene, the 2008 election, the 2012 election, all of these ones NPP lost. And in 2012 was when we felt this effect the most, where, Allan Tremantin was voted against, in the presidential primaries. You got, I think, 19% compared to the first one, which was around 32%. Ashanti region responded by voting less than 71% for the NPP in the main election. They lost in 2012, lost in 2008. It was only 2016 when Allan decided, to go on an official campaign tour with President Akufo-Addo, that the Ashanti region responded positively by increasing their percentage share by 5.4 percentage points in the 2016 election. We saw President Akufo-Addo winning for the first time in 2016. It happened in 2020. But we want to extend the picture probably to the national election, where we have on the screen right now. This is the 2020 presidential election. The NPP managed to win in 7 out of the 16 regions. This is, an output, or this is a performance they would want to consolidate and probably build upon in the 2024 election. What do you see? Ashanti region really playing, a key role here as the heart of the NPP. The NPP got more than 71%, almost 72% in the main election. With the introduction of Allan Tremantin, what will be the impact? If you look at all these figures that you have on your screens right now, is he going to take from the NPP in almost all of these regions? The NDC must also be watching, because probably there are floating voters that Allan will also be looking at to take from the, the NDC as well. But you see the 51.4% there in the Northeast region. If you do the analysis, for instance, that's what we are also calling the Baumia effect. So for the first time in about, I think, 6 or 8 years, we've seen the NPP performing so well in the northern region since the introduction of Baumia. So Northeast, for instance, we saw them winning massively by 51.4% in the main election. But the NPP wants to break the 8. Let's look at this, data and see if they will be able to break the 8 in the 2024 election. What you see, Carlos, here is if you compare 2016 to 2020, where in 2016, Mahama drops from, 51.7% in the 2012 election to 44% in the 2016 election. Now, what we see is that Mahama then begins to climb in the 2020 elections, where he moved from 44% to 47.36% in the 2020 election. So we see the gap, closing. So the gap actually closed between President Mahama, former President Mahama, and President Akufo-Addo in the 2020 election. But with the introduction of, Dr. Allan Tremantin, Honorable Allan Tremantin, will this gap continue to close? Are we going to see a runoff in the 2020 elections, 2024 election? We still don't know. The dynamics are still fresh, and we'll be looking forward to that. But right after, Allan Tremantin put out his, intention to run as an independent candidate, we saw this hashtag actually trending on X. It says, "We are NPP." And this was started by, NPP's General Secretary, Justin Kodua Frimpong. He says, "We are NPP." But the hashtag has actually taken some U-turn in terms of what they were actually looking for to achieve with this hashtag. Now, people are responding this way. So let's have a fear of saying, "We are NPP." But imagine going into Labour and this It's your ambulance. Are you really happy with this? And another one from says, this is the year of roads. We are NPP, so you see some roads in very deplorable states. We are NPP, but our water bodies turn cocoa tea. You can see it for yourself there. And let's take the last one. This is the Temamoto way. We are NPP. We've seen it. Let's look at the other one. This is what I wanted to show you. Yes, we are NPP, but $100 is equal to about 1,300 cities. You can count 13 of them.
The 100 city notes.
Absolutely. So that is the U-turn that the hashtag We Are NPP has actually taken on X, and we are continuing to monitor the situation, and we'll bring you updates. This is your election headquarters. Mind you that we'll bring you our analysis on this, independent decision by Allan Mountain.
Thank you so much. Kofi J is with our research desk here at Join Us Room. We'll take a break. We'll return with more. Please stay with us.